On this episode of Carnage, it looks like the boys have bought a car without telling me. So I'm going to have to drive over to the Carnage studio and see what they've done.
G'day, it's Telfo. We're in the Carnage secret studio today. Normally on Carnage we collaborate on what cars we're going to build, what engines, what swaps we're going to do. But this time we've bought a car without conferring with Scotty. With COVID tax, prices of cars are out of control, we just had to jump on it and buy it. So we've got Scotty outside. He's very nervous. He's worried I've bought a Subaru Vortex or something weird like that. It is a brand of car we've never had on Carnage before. So let's bring him in and see what he thinks. Scotty!
All right, mate, what have you done?
This time I bought a piece of Australian motoring history.
Oh my God. We're not good at preserving motoring history. Not on Carnage, but anyway, show me. What? You bought a Commodore?
It's not a Commodore.
Actually, it's not a Commodore. Oh, look at the hubcaps. Is this a... It is too, it's a Lexcen. Oh my God, we've talked about this. I didn't even know they made Lexcen wagons. Oh, this is cool. And it's the VR VS style. Is it VR or VS?
VR.
VR. Oh, wow. Wow. All right, so we've talked about this in the past, and we've got the perfect engine coming up for this thing, because you all know that we're getting given a V8 Soarer. So we're going to take the V8 out of that Soarer, and we talked about this, that it would be cool to put it in a Lexcen and build a V8 Commodore that's not actually a V8 Commodore, and this is going to be it. We're going to do a wagon with a 1UZ, maybe a turbo, maybe, yeah, oh, it should be a cool drag challenge contender. Oh wow. Oh, this is great. This is great. How's it look? Oh, it's actually really nice too. Hood lining's good. Okay, needs a driver's seat. Steering wheel's a bit, how you going? But still, wow. Okay, I can live with that. What'd you pay for it?
$2 grand.
$2 grand? With COVID tax and everything? Oh, this is good. Wow. All right, do you want to tell people, like, why did the Lexcen exist?
So, in the 80s we had a massive car industry with lots of different factories. It wasn't very competitive, so the government came up with this concept called the Button Plan, named after Senator Button, to rationalise the car industry, and this was part of that. It was a deal between Holden and Toyota, an unholy marriage that resulted in the production of Holden Commodores with Toyota badges and VIN numbers and build plates. And by the same token, we had Holden Novas, which was a Corolla, and the Apollo, which was a Camry. This went on for not quite a decade. It was a dismal failure. But you know, if you're going to buy a Commodore, you're going to buy a Holden. People didn't really want these things. They were named after Ben Lexcen, who was the famous designer of the Australian 2 American Cup car. So they're a weird oddity. And I guess the good thing for people like us wanting raw material is that these ones don't tend to be thrashed. They weren't cool. So, you know, old dudes held on to them, and they're just ready to be abused by people like us.
Yeah, that's awesome. But yeah, no, Ben Lexcen, an Australian legend. And then, like you say, they don't get thrashed, they don't get beat on, so they tend to be in pretty good nick. And we already know someone who's done one with a 2JZ, and it's awesome, it's fast, it's like 8s fast. And we thought, how cool would it be to do one with a V8? That would be awesome.
Because the Lexcen was only ever sedan and wagon, you couldn't get a V8 Lexcen, you couldn't get a manual Lexcen, you couldn't get a ute. So we're going to build the V8 Lexcen that Toyota should have built.
Yeah, but wagon. It's funny actually, because back when I did V6 Vengeance all those years ago, my original dream was to do V6 Vengeance as a wagon, but we couldn't afford one at the time. They were too expensive. So we found this really ratty VN Series 1, and it was a broken down piece of junk, but we made it work. But yeah, wagon. The dream's going to come alive.
So you've seen it, you haven't heard it. Let's go for a drive.
Yeah, it's only a V6 though, eh? Let's have a look under the bonnet, I guess. Oh yeah, it's pretty much just like a Commodore. Oh, it's got gas struts. Wow. Okay, they've used a lot of tyre shine. It's very clean though. It doesn't look too bad at all. Do we know how many Ks are on it? I suppose I can always just check. Let's have a look. 338,000, okay. So it's been around a little bit. Done a trip to the moon and back. Well, not back, to the moon. Okay, I reckon this is going to be awesome. You rip that thing out, put a 1UZ in there. I reckon maybe add a turbo to it as well, and it will be fast. It'll be an awesome sleeper to add to our fleet of awesome sleepers. But yeah, this is going to be cool. Alrighty, it doesn't seem to have rego on it though. I guess we need to do something about that. Alright, I'll take it for a drive. Here we go. Does it start? Any security features? There we go.
No fancy cruise control.
Doesn't have a lot of fuel in it. So.
This is a GLI, so we've got wind up windows. This is basically the exec, the poverty pack, which suits us. For what we're going to do for it, we don't want to carry out more weight than we want. Because as you say, wagon, drag challenge, perfect.
Yeah, I think it'd be perfect for drag challenge. I think we set it up for 235s. Wagon would be awesome. You know, I've always thought that wagons were the perfect car for drag challenge. You know, you can sleep in the back, carry all your tools, you can do all sorts of stuff with them. But yeah,
this car came with some mint roller style roof racks as well.
Really?
Also excellent for drag challenge.
I am not a fan of roof racks, but
love it.
Okay.
So flex fuel, yeah, we're not going to carry drums of V85 around in the back.
Yeah, I think flex fuel's the way to go. Yeah, you don't really want to be carrying a lot of fuel inside the car. But yeah, it actually drives alright. Box shifts alright, engine's not making any weird noises. I mean, they are a pretty reliable car, straight up, but you do wonder why people bought them, you know, was it a warranty thing? Or, I don't know.
Yeah, I can't remember if the Toyota had a better warranty. They had, you know, some weird marketing. The whole marketing strategy was we're a little bit different. So the TV ad was like, we're a little bit different. Dun, dun, dun. His family's dancing around to their song.
Here we go. Move over, move over.
We're a little bit different when we go on holidays. We don't just go down to the beach, we go all the way.
In a big way.
We're a little bit different, and why wouldn't we be when there's a big 6 Lexcen wagon?
With a lot more tricks than the other big sixes.
And big enough to even take Tiny. Be a little bit different. Be a little bit different. All you need to be a Lexcen. little bit different. Oh, what a different feeling, Toyota.
Yeah, wow.
Because basically it's just a Commodore. So I guess they were having a bit of a laugh at themselves. Yeah, I don't know if that was a particularly successful strategy. Anyway, but this is perfect for us.
Yeah. I love the idea of building a V8 Commodore that's not a V8 Commodore. You know, it'll make all the right noises, but it's Toyota body, so to speak. You know, Toyota badging at least. The compliance plates all say Toyota Motor Company. So yeah, and then we've used the Toyota 1UZ V8, which is just a fantastic motor.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Can we go to All Japan Day now?
Oh, wow, it caught me by surprise, but that there should be no reason why I couldn't take it to All Japan Day. Oh wow,
That's the ultimate troll move.
that sounds like a life goal. But yeah, no, 1UZ I think will fire this thing up quite well. The engine we've got actually is a 2004 model engine, so it's got the heavy duty rods in it because they went to thin rods in 2005. Been doing some research on them. Yeah, so single turbo, man, it should make some pony. It should make 500 rear wheel horsepower pretty easily, I'd imagine. Maybe, I don't know. I feel that's an achievable goal, and 500 horsepower at the tyres in one of these has got to make it get up and boogie. So,
Do we need cams?
I have done some research on that. They're affordable, which is surprising because we just bought cams for our 1JZ, and they're a decent expense, but the V8 cams, you'd think they'd be double the money being double the cams, but it's not. And I don't know, if it's a massive improvement to them, but it's certainly achievable and affordable. So maybe it's not a bad idea to look into it.
Because the other issue is, the gearbox. We've had a few, we've had a love-hate relationship with Toyota 4-speeds. Other people, people have made them work.
Well, they made them work to an extent. They get to a point where they're like, yes, we made this work and it lives, but they all, put a limit on how much power they want to make. Anyone that's making any real power with them isn't running a factory box, really. I mean, there are a couple of places in the States and that sort of thing that are, they reckon they can build you 1,000 horsepower A340, but I imagine the dollars are very similar or even more than building an equivalent turbo 400. So, do we just get another 400? I don't know. I mean, the 400 in the Trovo is amazing. It is so good. The only disadvantage, I guess, is being that this will be a road car, as we won't have the overdrive. So, do we go gear vendors on a 400?
What did Roadkill say? Putting the most expensive parts into the shittiest cars?
Yeah.
Something like that?
Yeah.
I think our gear vendors would blow our budget.
Gear vendors would be a fairly expensive addition, but would be awesome. But yeah.
I guess that's, you got a big horsepower aspirated car. That's where gear vendors really comes into its own.
Yeah, we don't, with a turbo car, we don't need a lot of rear gear in it. We won't need anything more than, 3.5, 3.25, something like that. So I don't see the point in,
Be interesting to see how this weighs compared to the Volvo.
Or even the VN, because we'll put the VN over the scales at some point. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see what the weight penalty is with the wagon. Oh, power steering's a little bit noisy, but hey, it's kind of par for the course for these things. If the pump is shagged, we have one actually at the workshop sitting on the VN motor. It's the same pump, I believe.
Fantastic.
So yeah, but no, it's man, you've done well. It's a good little ride.
I'm stoked.
Yeah.
I can tell you're more excited than when I brought the Renault Clio home.
Yeah, no, I think it's a much better buy than that was. I mean, it did all right, but yeah. Oops. But yeah, I think it just needs a steering wheel because it's a little bit chewed out on the back. Looks like a dog bit the top out of it. And then this seat I think is a bit worn as well. So
Yeah.
new seat, new wheel. Actually, yeah, I'd be interested to see if we can find parts for these reasonably easy.
Yeah, it would be great to keep the Toyota wheel
Oh,
rather than
it's
put
such a unique
a
thing.
Commodore wheel.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely want to keep the Toyota wheel.
But yeah, these things aren't falling out of trees.
No, I'm like I said before, I'm really surprised. I didn't realise they did wagons. I knew they didn't do utes. I'd never seen a Lexcen ute. Seen plenty of sedans, and we even know someone, you know, like Michael from Quick Bits years ago built a 2JZ Lexcen sedan, which then someone else owns it now. But yeah, that's a quick car. It ran like eights.
Is that the one on Drag Challenge?
Yeah, that was the
Yeah.
one that came to Drag Challenge.
It was leading like one of the top 3 or 4 cars on the first day. It
yeah.
was ballistic.
Yeah, it was a fast car, and then, but yeah, transmission problems caused some dramas. But hey,
That's Drag
wow,
Challenge.
you can really see the difference in that front blinker area. I just saw a VS Commodore go past, and just you can see how different the front guard is compared to these things.
Now these have a real Camry look in the front, no surprise.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they are definitely, certainly, you know, compared to the VN Lexcens, which really just look like a VN Commodore, but these actually look like, yeah, they put some thought into them. But no, I think it's going to be really cool. It's like, yeah, let's do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think people will dig it. I hope people will dig it. I hope you guys really dig this, because I think it is going to be a cool project. So the Lexcen has rego now. Me and Kean have gone down to the wreckers, and funny enough, there were a couple Lexcens there of the same model. So we managed to grab a good driver's seat, decent steering wheel, the thing's passed rego, flying colours, has rego, and well, it's actually awesome. Like, we use this thing as a daily, and it's actually, yeah, a pretty good daily driver. It's obviously got that full station wagon echo chamber in the back, but hey, that's just part and parcel of owning a wagon. So anyway, what we're going to do now is whack it on the dyno. We're going to take it down to max performance, put it on the dyno, and see how it stacks up against the VN. Like, I'm kind of curious. Will it have more power than the Superman did at stock? Don't know. I mean, that had a lot less Ks. That only had 117,000 Ks. It's got 330,000 Ks. So, I don't know. It feels pretty good to drive, I've got to say. But yeah, let's do a test, see what she makes as stock before we rip it out and stick a bloody great V8 in it. Lexcen's developed a bit of a tappety engine all of a sudden. It's very tappety, very smelling of oil. We're actually a little bit scared now. Oh well, we'll see what happens. Maybe we'll be paying Zane a bit of a cleaning fee after this. Just as well we're putting a V8 in this thing soon. It's actually just gone quiet all of a sudden. Oh well, let's send it. Well, that tanked early. So what happened there?
Must have been in second.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I fed it, but it must have been in second.
Still not quite there, but it's getting better. It's quite lean up through here though. Doesn't really get down until the end. she's not a turd, but she's not, you know, not a powerhouse, is it?
Definitely not.
Didn't quite get to the VN standard of 100 kilowatts, but it's okay. After all, it is a Toyota. It is a wagon. She's not a powerhouse, but she will be. Once we get that 1UZ in it and a turbo, this thing is going to run some numbers. So, you're going to see all that on a future episode of Carnage.